together, but with the magnitude of people that are on this line here tonight, that prevents us from doing that. But, I love being able to continue to do the eight as we normally would, but it would, unfortunately, we're dealing with what we're dealing with. The great thing is that through this technology, we're able to do our business, which is a blessing beyond all blessings, because unfortunately, as you all know, there are a lot of people, millions of people right now that are being displaced, that they really don't know what the future holds for them, because they don't know whether or not their job or their career or their business is going to be viable in the future, depending upon how long this lasts. And so, needless to say, we're grateful to be here with all of you tonight. As Mike said, this is an opportunity for us just to regroup, to look at you, and for you to look at us, to be able to just tell you some things that we believe are very important for you to internalize and digest and grab a hold of and move forward with. I took down some notes because I want to be very specific with you for my time here tonight. I want to be as impactful to you as possible. And so even though this is not the normal way for us to do business, this is the new way for us to do business, and this is the new for now. And here is what also I can tell you, is that opportunities usually come in the form of a problem or a challenge. Many of you heard me say this many times over the years, that sometimes our biggest disappointments are some of God's greatest appointments, and we just don't know it at the time. Well, I believe this season right now, what we're dealing right now, is exactly that. That it will turn out to be the biggest opportunity that we've had, because we're forced to do things a different way. And what I'm finding out today is that some of the things that we're doing via Zoom are actually more beneficial than what we had been doing. It doesn't take the place of, but some of the things, some of the communication, some of the ideas that have come out of being forced to do business this way have been invaluable to us, and I'm going to share them with you before the end of my segment. And so my challenge to you today is to do this. For you not to just be in protection mode, but for you to actually be in business building mode via this new technology. See, sometimes you need a challenge like this to really show the fortitude that you have as a leader. And this is when true leadership really stands out. It reveals who you really are. It reveals your character. It reveals the amount of stability that you have as an individual. And even though it reveals it, at the same time, it actually builds upon it. So it's a really critical time for us right now to be able to utilize this technology in a big, big way, to talk to as many people as we can, so that we can empower people and to help them through this crisis that they're in. In fact, I want to give you a perspective. Here's the perspective I want to give you. I've been talking to thousands upon thousands of people. And right now, this coronavirus is on everyone's mind. And I believe that people are getting consumed with fear, consumed with concern, consumed with the what ifs, as opposed to looking at what the possibilities are. And I just believe that you can live your life in one or two ways, folks. Either you live your life in faith, or you live it in fear. Well, I choose to live my life in a faith mindset. A mindset that believes the best is yet to come. A mindset that believes the future is brighter than what we've ever done currently and what we've done in our past. I really do believe that the times that are right now are foundational times for us to be able to build something so strong that it could far surpass anything that we've ever done. And so I think having a clear perspective is critical. In fact, I thought about an analogy to use. I have my mobile phone here, and you can see my wife and my granddaughter on the face. And there's a lot of information that you can access on this mobile. You have the world at your disposal. You also have all the news media at your disposal. You have all the negativity at your disposal. And so right now, here's what we're competing with. Either people are going to buy into CNN or they're going to buy into the story of ACN. What's it going to be? And if all you're focused on is this, and I'm going to put this right up to the camera, where all you can see is just see the reflection of the screen in my mobile phone. You can't see anything else. And I believe that's what people are doing today. This is all they're focusing on. But when you take it away, when you take this away, and you have a clear, open perspective on what is going on and what the possibilities are with this company called ACN, I get chills just thinking about what we are able to do when most people are stuck wondering what to do. Why? Because we have built our foundation on a rock that is sustainable, whether we can do it personally or do it through this medium that we're on right now called Zoom. You can talk to as many people as you want. And what I found is you can condense time frames via this medium. You can talk to as many people, you can enroll as many people, you can acquire the same amount of customers. Nothing stops because of what everybody's dealing with ACN. We have the perfect system in place, and all that we need to do is lead from the front as leaders and show our entire organization on what they're able to do. I think about the people that are hurting today. Here in America, just last week, 4 million people applied for unemployment. 4 million people. And I know that the very first time that somebody offers them something, their ears are going to perk up. The question is it going to be an ACN IBO or is it going to be something else? So that's what I'm going to challenge you for. Part-time income is huge today. Discretionary income would be everything for people today. To have the ability to make a few extra 100 pounds would be everything in the UK today. For that average family out there that's hurting, that's wondering about what to do. So we have something that is incredible. I think about some of the careers that are hurting today. Small businesses, airlines, cruise lines, hospitality business. Thousands upon thousands, tens of thousands of people that are displaced. And we have a solution if we do it the right way. And so last week, I did a leadership call with the regional directors and above, and I had the Circle of Champions members on from North America, as well as the senior vice presidents on from North America that were on the live portion of the call. And this is all recorded. It was all recorded, and now it's online for you to access. The reason why we did it is because we wanted to have the global IBOs have access to best practices on what's working the best via the Zoom technology, so you don't have to go and figure it out yourself. So you can access this video via the ACN Compass app that you can get all the information, or you can download the link. Just go on the ACN website, and you'll be able to go to this call and listen to the dialogue between the SVPs and the Circle of Champions and the co-founders and the executives on that call, and you will come up with ideas that are working really well via this Zoom technology, so you don't have to figure it out on your own. In fact, one of the things that I thought about via Zoom, I said, and I asked myself, well, what are the most effective things that, in regards to characteristic qualities, that I could give to people to use and communicate to people as they're on Zoom, as they're giving presentations. And I thought about 6 of them. And I would like to give these 6 to you. In fact, you'll hear these 6 on that very same call that you should access to get the best practices. And here are the 6. First of all, I said, now is the time to be empathetic. I think it's not the time to shove it in people's faces that we have a great opportunity and they don't, and they have to take a look. No. That's not the posture you want to take. The posture you want to have is empathy. You want to reach people where they're at. You want to say, hey, listen, I understand what you're going through, but listen, I have a solution for you. I have a way for you to make money on a part-time basis by acquiring customers on services that people are already spending the money on. Nobody wants to spend any more dollars, but everybody would love to reposition those dollars to put themselves in a better position. Do you spend money on your internet? Do you spend money on your gas and electricity? Do you spend money on your mobile phone? Yes. If I can show you how to make money off of people paying those bills, would that have some interest to you? Absolutely it would. So you got to be empathetic in order for you to reach these people. The second thing that I thought about during these times is that I think that you need to be diligent. As I said before, the first person that offers an opportunity to these millions of people that are displaced right now, their ears are going to be perked up and they're going to have an interest in what you're doing. So I would be more diligent today than I ever have been in my ACN career. Ever. Why? Because these people need an ACN. And wouldn't you like to be the person to be able to impact all these people in a positive way, and in turn, your life be impacted? Yes. So you need to be diligent. You need to lead from the front. You need to lead by example, and all the things that we already know how to do. Here's the third thing, is I think you need to be creative. I think now's the time to step out of the box and ask yourself this question: what more could I do today that I didn't do before this happened? Here's some of the things you're going to find out. You're going to find out that you can reach more people in a shorter period of time. You're going to find out that you can do a quick start training the same day that you got somebody enrolled in the ACN system. You don't have to wait 2 days or wait for a meeting room or Saturday training, whatever the case may be. Excuse me. You can do it the very same day. So you can condense time frames because you're thinking creatively. How can you tell this story to many, many more people than you ever have in your ACN career via this technology? Ask yourself that question. When you ask yourself the right questions, you will always get the right answer. So the fourth characteristic that I thought of is this, is that you got to be positive. Everything that people see today is negative. I told you about this. 90% of what you see on here is negative today. You're talking about disease and death and spread and economic collapse. Whoa. If they meet you and you're positive, I promise you, you will stand out. I was at the grocery store 2 days ago, and I'm buying some things, and I see some of my friends, in the grocery store, and people are talking, or they're staying 6 feet apart, of course, and they're talking, and I'm thinking to myself, I can't buy into this. I just can't. I can't internalize any of this negativity. I go to the cashier and I pay my bill, and I gave her $100 tip, and she was in tears because I don't believe it was the money. It was just the fact that somebody came through that wasn't whining and complaining about something that the store didn't have, but somebody came through, and here's what I said. This is all I said. I said, thank you for being here. Thank you for not staying home, but coming here and servicing us. Thank you so much. And she was in tears because of it. That made an impact that I don't believe that she will ever forget. What can you do right now to set yourself apart from everybody else out there that will attract people to your message instead of the message that most people are buying into? So you got to be positive. The fifth thing that I thought about is that you got to be encouraging. I think that you got to encourage people today. You have to pat them on the back a little bit. You got to spend a little bit more time with them and encourage people that everything's going to be okay, and that you have a solution for their economic situation that they're in. You have a solution for the career situation that they're in on a very flexible basis, part-time, where it will not impact anything that they're doing right now, and they can do it from the comfort of their home. What beautiful system do we have right now to be able to reach millions of people? We got to encourage people along the way. And here's the sixth and final thing that I communicated to our leaders in North America that I think would go a long, long way in your storytelling efforts about ACN, is that you have to be aware, but you should not be alarmed. You got to be aware of everything that's going on, but just don't buy into it. Listen to the government mandate about what you should do in your area. Yes, if they're telling you to stay home, if they're telling you to self-quarantine, if they're telling you to isolate, yes, you better do it. But man, don't buy into the fear. Don't be alarmed about the future. Be aware of what's going on, but don't be alarmed. And I'm telling you, if you adopt those 6 characteristics, and you do the things that I just mentioned to you earlier, and you can condense time frames in a big way, you will be amazed at what you're able to build. And here's the question I'm going to ask you before I give this call to Mike. This is the last question. This is a question for you to think about. Here it is. What kind of business do you want to have coming out of the situation that everybody's dealing with? What kind of business do you want to have? What picture in your mind of a business do you have right now after all this is said and done, and we can go back to business as usual? That's a good question to think about. And if you ask yourself that question, and you actually take the necessary time to map out what you really want to have, how many leaders would you like to have? Would you like to be a regional vice president? Would you like to be a senior vice president? Would you like to have X amount of residual income coming into your household? Break that down and let that dictate your daily activity that you will stick to via this medium of Zoom technology. And at the end of it, whenever that may be, it may be a month, it may be 6 weeks, it may be 2 months, I have no idea. But whatever it is, you're moving closer to that picture. And I guarantee you that if you focus on the right things and you exemplify the right characteristics and attitude, you will attract the right people via this medium. And you will be amazed at the quality of people that are going to say yes to this opportunity because you have the answer that they are now looking for. I don't know how many of you remember 2008, 2009. That was when the economic crisis hit and everything was in a downturn. and everybody that we approached want to be a part of ACN. I remember those days. And then I also remember the days when times were great, and then people forget about, the crisis the financial crisis that they were in, that they put themselves in because they relied on one small company, or they relied on one small business that they were in. They forgot about it because times were good. Well, now the times are back, and now everybody will listen. It's all going to be dependent upon who gets to these people first. I would highly recommend it be you. I hope that these qualities helped you, and I would encourage you to listen to that leadership call that we had in North America so that you can find out what the best practices are via Zoom, so that you don't have to figure it out on your own, and you can condense time frames and build a spectacular business during the most beneficial time that we've had in years, which is right now. So, Mike, I'm going to give this call back to you, buddy. Thanks for giving me time on this call, everyone. God bless you. And I look forward to the day where I can see you personally and have great conversations. Have a great night.
Greg, thank you very much. And I know